Just very quickly before we jump into the video, I'm going to be putting chapters in this one so you can skip to the gameplay overview trailer, because I do sit there and ramble for a few minutes to basically explain to new viewers that this channel isn't specifically about hate. I get a lot of comments saying all you do is hate in your videos, and there's been like 6 videos surrounding that one on the channel that haven't been negative at all. So it's explaining to the new viewers. We'll get into that if you want to watch from now until the gameplay overview trailer. If you want to skip that and you're not bothered about what I think and my opinions and stuff, then you can use the chapters to skip straight to the trailer. There has been a lot of negativity around Saints Row for a multitude of different reasons. And yes, some of the negativity has come from me, but I'm never negative because I want a game to fail. I want to start off this bandwagon of hate. I'm negative because I can see the potential in the games that I believe are going to fail, and not only that, I want the games to succeed. The best example I can give of this is, if you guys remember Anthem, I absolutely loved that game, and EA eventually shut down an overhaul for it. So the game got abandoned, but everyone jumped on a bandwagon, started hating, and yeah, it might have played a factor towards the failure of the game, but I never encourage, or at least I don't try to ever encourage people to hate just for the sake of hating. I try and point out facts, I try and give a solid, kind of all-round opinion on what I think of a game. I've been talking about insurance fraud since Saints Row got announced, because I absolutely love this series. I used to spend hours and hours every single day playing Saints Row 2, doing the insurance fraud, having fun, going around blowing things up. And yes, a lot of the stuff from the older games is going to be included in this game, the reboot, but it just seems as though in this day and age, you have to be careful not to offend loads of people and stuff like that. It's a very, very dodgy sort of time, especially when it comes to gaming. And one of the things they've done with this game that's annoyed fans is the fact that they have changed the mechanic garage, so where you upgrade your cars and stuff. For the 4 entries in this game, Saints Row 1, 2, 3 and 4, the mechanics garage was called Rim Jobs. It's now called Jim Robs. It's a simple change, it's small, it could be classed as nitpicky to a lot of people, but it's those sort of changes, you see one of them and you think, well, how much other stuff have they changed? What's the game going to be like when you compare it to something like Saints Row 2? And they've got a lot of customization in this game, I think far too much. But it all depends on the personal preference of the person playing the game. You're the one spending your money on the game. You're going to enjoy it how you want to. I'm not necessarily saying this game's going to be bad, but in terms of games being successful and failing, I believe this game is going to fail. And I believe that because it doesn't seem as though they've brought enough to the table for the game to succeed. But then if you look at it from a different picture, and this isn't me changing my opinion, I still think it's going to fail, but there is another side to it, and I'll hold my hands up if I'm wrong. If the game's a massive success, I will point it out and say I was wrong. I'm not going to just hide away, delete my videos and all that sort of stuff. But another way you could look at it is this game is coming out when there is pretty much nothing else on the market, especially for an open world, mindless fun game. So it could have success in some ways, it could be completely successful, but in terms of a product, I do believe it's going to fail. And I know I've rambled for a couple of minutes, but I thought I have to get my thoughts out there, let you guys know exactly what I'm thinking before we jump into this, because there's been a couple of videos I've posted saying the game's going to fail, putting out one saying why everyone hates the game, and I don't want the game completely surrounded with negativity on the channel. I've got tips and tricks coming up for it based on what I've watched. And the intro before we watch the video is essentially just to kind of explain to the new viewers exactly what I'm thinking. So it's not about explaining myself and trying to defend myself against hate that I've been getting because of my opinions. I don't care about that stuff. I've got my opinions. I stick to them. It's just about letting people know that I'm not just about hate. I see the positives in games, but it's very hard, especially in the AAA market, to see positives within the last few years. But we'll jump into this gameplay overview trailer. It will be linked in the description if you want to watch it without me talking over the top of it. So let's see what the gameplay overview trailer has to offer.
Brilliant plan gone off the fucking rails. You think it's some pendejo messed up, and now all these poor bastardos gonna choke on an all-you-can-eat buffet of bullet tacos. Well, I promise you,
Bullet tacos
will work out exactly the way it's supposed to. Just keep your eyes and ears open, The next few minutos could mean the difference between becoming Santo Ileso's numero uno crime boss or just another notch in some punk's stolen gun belt. So how does an up-and-coming gun for hire like you wind up in a hot mess like this? Let's rewind. You might not know it yet, but you and your friends are about to found an institution, the Saints. And if you want to be your own boss, you're gonna need to bust some heads.
Okay, pausing quickly. There's not been a lot to say. I know we're only 48 seconds in, but it's incredibly action-packed. They've definitely done a good job of hooking the viewer to watch this trailer. And I like the look of the headbutts. I don't know why, but ever since the Fast and the Furious film where Vin Diesel fly in headbutt someone, I've always loved the idea of headbutts. The thing that, it's not irritating. The thing that I don't get is the character appearance of this dude sat here with the glasses. He looks too nerdy to be running like a gang. Because Saints Row's all about gangs and rival territories and things like that.
First step in the journey is launching a startup. I mean the fun kind. Illegal, criminal, and not exactly on the up and up. And it all happens here, in the southwestern paradise of Santo Ileso.
Try to keep up this time.
This dusty jewel is a hot spot for striking it rich, from the glittering high-rises of Lakeshore right down to the dusty streets of Mercado.
We're gonna need a lot of money in this game as well.
Our city like the angel of death. It's the ultimate sinner's playground, ripe with opportunity to make a quick buck. But nothing comes for free here. Meet the factions.
Okay, before we jump into the factions, the guy said strike it rich. I mentioned you're gonna need a lot of money. There's going to be emotes and different things you can buy at the shops in the game. And I saw an emote in one of the videos that costs $30,000. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an insight as to how expensive things are going to be. But one thing I really like what they've done with this, and I don't think they'll explain it in this video, different points of interest and different landmarks in this game. If you take photos of them with your phone in-game, that will unlock fast travel. I really like what they've done with that, because not only do you get to basically work on exploration of the game in order to progress and unlock fast travel if that's how you want to play the game, but they've also obviously put a lot of time and effort into the landmarks and the points of interest, and they've come up with an idea that would encourage people to actually go and check out what the developers have worked on. So I think that's really, really good. So this is Los Panteros, or Los Panteros, however you want to pronounce the gang's name, and let's continue with this.
You've got Los Panteros, Sergio's
Los Panteros.
smuggling enterprise out of the Mercado.
Okay, lifting massive tires.
About getting up in your business, so watch your back around there. In the other corner, the idols. Now,
The idols.
These are even more local. I mean, just look at how they're dressed. These kids take homicidal anarchy to the
Yeah, see, it doesn't really...
Some faceless group known as the Collect.
It's cool. Like, it looks entertaining, looks like part of the mindless fun of the game. But this gang just, it doesn't look like a gang. I don't know what I picture as a gang, but this isn't it. There's too much, there's too many neon lights and LEDs, and it's vibrant. I know this is a game that's not supposed to be taken seriously, but it would be nice to have that sort of aspect of things being taken seriously in small parts of the game. And I think considering you are fighting these gangs the whole way through the game, I think they should have worked a little bit harder to make them feel more gang-like and a little less mindless fun. And I get there's different styles of gangs and everything like that. You can't just put one picture, you can't paint all the different gangs in the world with the same brush. But I think the gang part of the game should have been the little bit more serious and leave all the side activities and things like that to the mindless fun sort of mess around stuff. But as always, it's my opinion. Everyone is going to feel completely different about what I've just said, and that is fine. Let's continue.
They won't be stingy about investing in ammo, so be hot when you cross paths. And guess what? There's always another corner. Atticus and his marshals take privatized defense technology to some serious...
See, this looks better.
Capture and control is their motto. You wanna try your human luck against their advanced assets?
I wouldn't say a...
Man, just don't
Ouch.
underestimate him. Anyway, I don't have to tell you this. Ain't that your former employer?
I wouldn't say a gang.
Well.
I really wouldn't call them a gang. I would say they're more like a private security team, if you want to call it that. Like, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm not saying it's a definitive, these don't look like gangs. I'm saying, in my opinion, like the gangs could have been done a little bit better. They could have had a tiny bit more of a serious side to them instead of, this is the Marshals, they look like a private security force, and these are the idols. They're wacky, like dance music, neon lights, LEDs, all that sort of stuff. That sort of a gang. But let's continue. We're jumping into the desert.
Out in the desert, there is another wild bunch you might cross cacti with. All I'll say is if you do, bring your duct tape and cardboard.
Self-made in the shade.
You came to Santo Ileso with a head full of dreams and a drive to hustle. You got the skills to make the kills, but you're not alone.
Skills to make the kills and skills to pay the bills.
Count on him to invest the profits from all that blood, sweat, and lead into your startup. And in case you're ever looking for gift ideas, he's got this thing for punch.
That guy's the driver. No, is he the driver?
Get away from trouble.
No, she's the driver.
She's not
That's my bad.
She's in the garage making sure the gang's ribs are street illegal. Now remember to enjoy.
I should have just listened, shouldn't I?
Your shirt-hating roommate Kev is there for you. He's a combination DJ, chef, and all-around thrill junkie. But watch your back, Saints. Hey, call these.
I like the music in the background. Might get copyrighted.
This hitman has an eye on Santo Ileso too.
You really think you have what it takes to bring me in?
Holy shit.
Every kingdom needs a
Yeah, holy shit.
For long, you'll be living large on 3rd Street in your Saints HQ. This is where you'll run all your major operations. You'll find it stocked with every amenity.
See, the customization just seems over the top. Stake it till you make it.
But it sounds like my kind of stupid.
We all have a story, and while I can't predict everything that will happen in yours, I do know that you are destined for a hell of an adventure as you and your saints rise to power. Find the twists and hard turns, and you'll emerge victorious with status, experience, respect, and all the.
See, that looks fun. Like, the game does look fun.
Carve this road to success is up to you. Your criminal ventures taking over the city are where you exercise your free will as you shape your own empire from scraps.
Hold up. Was that challenges? Let's go back and have a look at this. We've got the criminal ventures, missions, become self-made. Yeah, challenges. Fashionable, shots fired, sightseer, another shortcut, close call, it's a living, gym robs. See, that was rim jobs for the first 4 games in this series. I believe they did it with something else as well. And that's why you see a lot of people going around saying, oh yeah, Saints Row has gone, like it's turned into Saints Woke. Just because they've removed all the offensive stuff. They've made a game that, like, it's similar in ways to the previous titles, but it just doesn't have the same sort of kick to it.
As you shape your own empire from scraps. You want hot new skills, nines, and fits?
Them things look good for getting around.
Chop shop or train on robbers. Goals.
There's fucking Pineapple Express again. I get, like, I'm sorry for keep pausing it. I get that there's going to be a limited amount of skills. They don't want to show all of them off, but show us something different than fucking Pineapple Express. Please. It's all we've seen in these videos. I just want to see one different one being used. Just one different skill. And from what I've seen of the phone where you get your skill unlocks, it doesn't look as though there are many. But even if there's 5, show off 2. Leave like the most exciting 3 behind closed doors until the release. And just show Pineapple Express and one different skill. It's just Pineapple Express, Pineapple Express, Pineapple Express. And it gets irritating. I get it. We've got to wait till the game comes out. Then we'll get to see more of it. But it would be nice, even if we just see another skill being used once or twice. It's just all been Pineapple Express, and it gets boring. Like, when I get into the game, I've seen it so much, I don't want to see it again. I don't want to use the skill, or the skill's not going to be that exciting because I've seen it so many times.
Customize and upgrade your.
And I'd just like to point out, fuck me, I'm so vocal in this video. I apologise if I'm doing your head in.
Yourself and your valuables. You want to look like the boss of Santo Ileso? This place offers choices so deep you'll need a scuba tank.
Yeah, see, like, the customization, there's so much of it. It's good in a way, but bad in a way.
By the way, I hope you're
Opinion-based, obviously.
Southwestern combat. You can solve plenty of problems with bullets. Others call for a more bespoke approach. Don't be afraid of getting.
See, and that's another thing. Look at a couple of these weapons. The video's almost done. So if you haven't clicked off, you can click off soon. So you'll see these weapons. Like here, you've got a hammer that I would say you'd see that at like a fun fair. You smash the hammer onto the like round thing or whatever, and it goes up on the board. If you know what I mean with that fun fair thing. If you get to the top and the bell dings, you get a prize. Like, that looks okay.
more bespoke approach.
And then you get this, it looks like some sort of confetti gas sort of gun. Yeah, cool. Where are the dildos and things like that? Things in the old Saints Row, the crazy shit that we used to be able to use. Why has that all been removed from the game besides sticking to, we don't want to offend anyone. We don't want the game to be too inappropriate. And I mean, rim jobs, it doesn't have to be taken in that sense. The sense of it needing to be removed from the game to fit into today's society. Rim jobs, you have rims on cars, you're upgrading your vehicles in that garage. It could just be a job to fix rims. Like, it doesn't have to be based on what people would think it is being inappropriate.
Don't be afraid of getting creative. You may even want some weaponry that'll bend the rules like you.
I like that.
Things get too hard,
The guitar
can always
case.
call in friends from the outside. Of course, BFFs are also prone to messing with each other on occasion. Maintain a thick skin. And while you're working your way up the criminal ladder, I highly recommend starting a vehicle collection. It'll be for business as much as pleasure. As the boss, you can pretty much take your pick.
See, I like that. Supercars, the fact they've got underglow.
Settle for the standard trim. Get creative. Turn heads with some
Look,
custom.
look. No, we're going to go back. No, there. Underglow on a car. I remember GTA launched, GTA 5, and no, I'm not comparing the games. I'm just saying, I remember it launched, it didn't have underglow. A lot of games that have vehicles, vehicle customization, racing, supercars, they don't have underglow as an option. So it's a really good thing that it's in Saints Row. Because a lot of people that like the idea of the racing scene and street racing and things like that, underglow is very important to those people. And a lot of games nowadays launch without underglow. And it might come in later or it might never be added. But that's a positive for Saints Row because they've thought about that and they've added underglow to the game. So I really like that. And these signature abilities, they look cool too. Avoid collisions to sustain boost. LB or B to activate. You've got to get 3 full nitrous burns. And then you can do the avoiding collisions thing. The infinite boost.
No one ever said it had to be street
That looks fun. Going around popping tyres. Big jumps and buggies and shit.
So, we good? You understand the plan? Sounds like you're ready for some grande-sized life changes, Jefe.
Nice.
Santo Eleso aims to deliver. Anyway, as I was saying before, everything will work out just fine.
I really hope it does. I really hope. Let's continue playing for a second. It'll tell you about pre-ordering. So there you go. It's available on PS5, 4, Series X and S, Xbox One, Stadia, Epic Games. It's not going to be available on Steam. I don't know if it's a timed exclusive. But that's the platforms it's available when it comes out 23rd of August. And that's another thing. Even though the head don't explode, there's no damage or anything like that, there's actually blood. I remember a Call of Duty game a couple of years ago. There was no mark, no blood, no nothing when you shot someone in the head in the campaign. And yes, I did a rant about it, obviously. It's me, it's the Born the Game channel. We rant about a lot of stuff. But that was a look at the gameplay overview trailer for Saints Row. I don't just see negatives with this game. There are some negatives, don't get me wrong. But I do see the positives as well. I'm looking forward to the game. I've said that even in the negative videos. But it all depends on what it's like when it releases, when people can actually get their hands on it. And I can't see it being successful purely because of some of the stuff they've done with the game, like the customization. It's going to be fun for all of what? You can use it on the fly, so you create your character, you go into the game, you can just continue changing your character whenever you want. But there's going to become a time, probably a few hours in, where you don't want to change your character anymore. Or you go to a shop, you buy a bit of clothing, and you're just going to change your clothing. You're not going to change your character's appearance again because you're happy with it. So they've put in so much character customization. I appreciate the weapons and the vehicles and stuff, but they put so much customization into the game. I think it's going to be over the top. And I know people absolutely love customization, but there is a point where it will become over the top. And I think this is going to be the game where it is over the top. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy like me pausing trailers and stuff and talking over the top and letting you know my opinions, or let me know if you want them to be toned down and for me to shut the fuck up and just actually let you watch the trailer without me pausing all the time and then maybe just put in a few words here and there over the top of the trailer as we're watching it or something. But let me know all that stuff in the comments. Check out this video if you want to see another Saints Row video on the channel. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.